Hey, allow me to reintroduce myself. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's Ju right here. I'm about to do a get ready for work chit chat with me while I get ready for work. So if you're interested in this video, keep watching. Okay, y'all, so I sound like a man. I have been sick the past like 5-6 days, but I was like, no more. I have to film. So I got my tea. I've been drinking tea the past few days. It's really hot, so I'm gonna let it cool off. But I also feel like I wanted to put some makeup on today. I got this big bump on my face, don't know where it came from, but also I just feel like when you look good, you feel good, and so I want to feel good again. I actually feel okay. I'm not stopped up, but as y'all can hear, like my voice, I sound like a man. I lost my voice for a little bit. And I still have this really nasty cough, but we're fresh out of the shower. I'm already moisturized. I actually have Vaseline on my nose as well. I was gonna put my Laneige lip mask. Ooh, focus. My lip mask on. I'm gonna wear a mask today. So you're probably like, why you putting on makeup? I know it doesn't make sense, but I just want to feel good because I haven't been looking and feeling my best. So I want to cover all these little blemishes. I'm using this Kylie Jenner concealer, which is not really even a concealer. It's matching my skin perfectly. It's kind of like a foundation for me. So I'm just putting it in like random places. So y'all, this chit chat get ready with me before I go to work. Oh, actually, one second. Let me go wet my sponge. Okay, we're back. So I asked some questions. Y'all, excuse my voice. I'm so sorry. Bear with me through this video. So I asked some questions on Instagram about what the biggest problem in education was. And to my surprise, actually, I got various topics. Like, I kind of thought it was gonna be overall like the same type of problem, but actually I got a very wide range of issues that y'all feel like is in education. And I'm assuming, because it wasn't really like said when y'all answered the questions, but I'm assuming it's from fellow educators, my fellow educators out there, because oh y'all, the responses that I got, okay, I feel like a lot of that product just came off on the sponge. So I don't know, like, is the sponge or is it the product? That seemed like a lot of product on the sponge. Okay, so y'all, I have like a lot, hold up. I have a lot of questions, a lot. So, let's see. I got being taught the wrong thing. Ooh, being taught the wrong thing. So like, are the teachers not well versed in the subject? So they're not teaching it correctly? Are they just putting anybody in the positions because they can't find teachers? Because you know there's a shortage, right? There's a lack of teachers everywhere. Are they just placeholders because they can't find the teachers to fill that spot? I don't know. Whew. I got limiting our interest and creativity and making us stick to the same thing as everyone. That's actually one of my former students, y'all. So the fact that he said that, whew, we used to talk about that a lot in my class. I used to ask the kids, which is funny. I used to ask them, why do y'all think I'm teaching you this? Or like, why do y'all think this is in the textbook? I used to have them flip through the textbook. Bear with me. I'm about to do some crazy makeup, but bear with me. So I just put concealer everywhere. I'm about to do some eyeshadow. And I wanted to do eyeshadow because I am gonna wear a mask today. And so if anything, I want my eyes to just pop today. So back to the textbook. So I used to tell my students to like flip through the textbook. And I'm like, what do you notice? Who are the authors? What are the stories? Look at the dates. And I would have them notice like majority of the stories in the textbook were written by old white men. In my last year teaching, I taught juniors and seniors. And it was stuff like Frankenstein. It was a lot of poetry and sonnets, like British literature, Beowulf. It was old English for the seniors. And juniors was like Frankenstein, that's Mary Shelley. So I'm like, okay, like this is all old white people shit. Sorry, but not sorry. That's just what it is. And I used to ask them, like, why do y'all think we're reading this? Like, why is this in the textbook? How updated do y'all think the textbook is? And I feel like it's important to show that and point that out to the students because they need to know what they're learning. They need to know why they're learning the stuff they're learning. And so I do think it's important that as educators, we don't just only teach what's in the textbook because the shit is not updated. Like, it's horrible. Ooh, this one, y'all, this one. Teaching to prepare for state tests and not teaching for understanding. Whew. I always said this too. Because I came from districts where it was like the test was the end all be all. Like, you had to like not teach to the test, but like the test was it. Like, I taught all tested subjects too, except for last year. But even last year, I taught like intervention, so whatever. But it was always like, the test is so important. The test is like vital. Like, these kids have to pass the test. So I'm trying to put a little bit of green in my inner corner since I'm wearing this big Papa Green sweater right now. That's why I'm doing that. If y'all are wondering, like, girl, it's 5 in the morning. Why you been on wearing eyeshadow? Because I'm trying to make everything come together. Okay, but anywho. So, I always used to say that too. Like, it's so important to not teach to the test. If you just teach regularly, like if you teach your content and you know what you're teaching, they're gonna pass the test. It's inevitable. And then when it's like close to STAR, I would give like last minute tricks and tips. Like I would do like a STAR shutdown, last minute tips and tricks on like testing strategies specifically for the STAR. I'm about to put on my foundation powder. So I feel like I would use past STARs like to teach, but I would also bring in so the way I used to teach, y'all, bear with me too loud. My nose is peeling from me being sick. So the way I used to teach like Kate Chopin. I used to teach like what is that? I used to teach Desiree's Baby, and I would mix it like with poetry, like random poems that I would find, and then I would create questions that kind of mimicked how the STAR questions would look. However, I did not always use like past STARs to teach. I would always use, or even like sonnets and stuff, because I did teach the sonnets that was in the textbook, but I did something fun with it and the kids loved it. I had them create their own sonnets, but then I would always give them like maybe 1 or 2 questions, like how the STAR would be posed, just to get them familiar with it. But I was never teaching them to the STAR. Never, y'all, never. I just feel like, and I've had the most success with STAR. I've had 90% pass the STAR. I've had 73% pass the STAR. My first year ever teaching a tested subject, which is like really, really good. I had the whole department, when I was team lead at another district, I had the whole department get like 80 something percent. I had 90%, the whole department had 80. So I'm like, what I'm doing is working. Like, I'm telling y'all, what I'm doing is working. But I definitely believe that to teach to the test is a hell no. Hell no. Too much data requirements, not being able to actually deliver the content. So now that I'm on the other end of things, like, I kind of get the data, because numbers don't lie. They just don't. You cannot finesse anything and say you're teaching when the numbers don't lie. So if you're teaching, I'm an ELA person all day and night, so excuse me y'all if y'all not ELA. But if you're teaching 8A, author's purpose, and all your data is coming back like they don't know what author's purpose is, they haven't mastered that, you're not teaching it right. So I do think that it's important to look at the data. I do. But I just feel like data drives instruction. It does. Because you can see right now what I look at overall, like all of 6th grade. All of 6th grade right now is struggling with inferencing. Like every teacher across the board, they're all struggling with inferencing. So something is going on with the delivery of teaching inferencing, if that makes sense. Ooh, lack of accountability for parents and students, increased demands on educators. I do agree with this, y'all. They blame everything. They blame everything on the teacher, and that's horrible. That is horrible. But I guess, like, as an educator, what can you do, you know? Like, you can only control what's going on in your classroom. So it's like, I can't control what's going on at home. So it's like, what do y'all want me to do? Because I work at the middle school and the high school right now. And that's one thing. I feel like I look so flat. I'm trying to like add some dimension to my face. And I want to add like more eyeshadow, so why not? So yeah, y'all, the lack of accountability for parents, it's like, that shit is real. It's like, as a parent, I don't know, like as a parent you have to be more involved. But with today's world, y'all, it's like these parents are probably working their ass off and they can't be there. Like, I know a lot of students' stories, they have like multiple siblings, and the oldest sibling is the one responsible for making them do their homework. So it's like, how can you fault that family for that? Because the parents are just trying to make ends meet, or like they work overnight or something. Because we have parents that are like nurses, so like they have a great job, they're a registered nurse, but they work overnight. So it's like, how can they really be that involved? You know, it's like, I don't know how to feel about that, because like, what can we do? I can't make the child go home and do their homework, you know? That's a big thing we're struggling with at my campus right now. They're like, they should be doing homework, they should be at home reading, they should be doing this, that, and the third. And it's like, okay, well, are you gonna make them do that? We can't make them do that. So what are you gonna do? What can you do? So I don't know, y'all. That one is like, ooh. This is one of the biggest ones for me. Not having educational reform as the generation continues to change. This is the one. This is the one. Y'all, this one, I have been saying this forever. We're in a different position now. Okay, I'm about to set my face. I just feel like we are in a different position now when it comes to education. And what's not happening, everything around us is changing. Baby, the price of eggs is going up. The price of Apple Music then went up. The price of this, that, and the third then went up. Everything is changing around us except for education. Why? Y'all, I don't understand how everything around us is adapting and changing, but we're not as educators and the whole system. And I just feel like as I move up, in this field, I just feel like the people who are in charge in education have never been educators. Like, what? The decisions that they be making, I'm like, bruh, y'all have never been in a classroom. Like, state legislators and shit, it's like, why are y'all making these decisions? Y'all have never been in the classroom. Has Abbott ever taught? I want to know that. I do. Abbott making these decisions for educators in the education system in Texas, and I just want to know, has Abbott ever been in a classroom? Somebody point me to the school district he worked for. I really want to know. Because the decisions that they make on behalf of educators, it's not making sense. Like, it's just not making sense. Spring again. I just feel like as a whole, we need to adjust and adapt. Because I keep explaining this and I keep saying this. I don't know who can ever hear me. We keep doing the same thing, and we have to remember we have COVID babies. We have COVID students, children, babies who are trying to learn and adapt to this new environment, this new world after COVID. They're fucked up mentally. They could have lost a parent, a grandparent, a sibling. They could have lost people around them from this disease. They shut down in like their most primal need of education, right? So think about a third grader who got sent home and now they're back in school as a sixth grader. They missed all those foundational skills. A sixth grader who is sent home, who's now a ninth grader, like a freshman in high school, they're still mentally immature. They still don't know how to adapt and be around socially. Like, that's a big issue, social skills, right? I'm about to do my eyebrows this new way I've been doing them. I put a little bit of like edge control on my eyebrows. Is this safe? I have no idea. And then I just like brush them. Y'all see the difference? Anyways, so I just feel like, how can we expect these kids to be up here? This new state test, have y'all seen it? This new star is like up here and our kids are down here. How do you expect us to get the kids all the way up here? Hell no, like that's impossible. And what I keep telling the teachers, slow down. Slow down. It does not matter if you don't get all the way through the scope and sequence. It's okay if you don't get through all 6 planning guides that's like in the curriculum. It's okay. Are they learning? I just feel like quality is better than quantity at this point. And I feel like in education, we're always trying to hit quantity. It's like, hit this, hit that, hit that. How can they master poetry when they haven't mastered fiction? I feel like fiction comes first. You have to be able to understand figurative language in fiction before you can understand figurative language in poetry. And it's not happening. No one listens to me. Nobody listens to me at my job, y'all. Okay, another one. I went on a tangent. Admin come into your classrooms daily to observe. I get that. I do. I can understand how that's annoying. Somebody once told me that the people who come to your classroom, if they come to your classroom, they come because you're doing something right. They don't go to the teachers that's doing stuff wrong. So if they come into your classroom, it's probably for a good reason. I'm actually almost done. My makeup is done. We just got to tackle the hair. Okay, low morale and parents expecting teachers to raise their children. I've never experienced this because I've always been with high school, y'all. So I don't know. I never experienced that. The things being taught. Well, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next 4 was talking about parents. These parents not being involved. Parents expecting teachers to raise their children. Yikes. Yikes. The things being taught. We talked about that. The things being taught are just outdated. We need to update as a whole education system and do like a education reform, revamp the textbooks, add more. Your demographic, I don't teach no more of it. I work in an all Black and Hispanic predominantly. Y'all, a black and brown school district. It is predominantly black and Hispanic. The fact that these children are only reading white authors is an issue. They need to see themselves reflected in the education. They need to see Hispanic authors. They need to see Asian American authors, or just Asian authors. They need to see Native American authors, or American Indian. I hate to say Native American. They need to see African American authors. They don't need to only be reading what's in the textbook. I hate that. So actually my hair is actually being kind of it's being kind of decent today. We're gonna put on some edge control to get these baby hairs together. Okay, let's see what else we got. Not teaching enough life skills. I agree with that too. Unfortunately, I guess this kind of goes back with like the raising the kids, but unfortunately the reality is, y'all, these kids are with you for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Like, maybe they haven't been taught. And you damn skippy, I used to teach them life skills. When them children would walk in my classroom, I'm talking about seniors, grown, wanna be grown, walk into my classroom and they don't speak to me, that was an issue for me. And I would go above and beyond to make sure they understood. Good morning, good afternoon. I didn't wake up next to you. Like, you need to speak to me. This is my classroom. You address me. You don't have to say good morning, Miss Gray, but you know, address me. Say good morning. Acknowledge me. And so sometimes you do have to teach them life skills. Sometimes you do have to show them how society is supposed to work as far as like kindness and treating people and just acknowledging people. And then again, remember, like, these kids have been home for 2 years. So, you know, they're not used to saying good morning and speaking to people. They're not used to having social skills, social interaction. Some teachers come in for the wrong reasons. You can tell the difference. Now that I am on the other side, I definitely agree with this. I noticed and witnessed so many teachers who complain and just, you can tell they're not there for the kids. I have teachers complaining, why does everything need to have data? How do you know the kids are mastering? Whether your data is hard or soft data, you at least have an account. Data does not have to be an Ejaphoria. Data can be a quick check for understanding, a quick cold call. Everybody, on a scale of 1 to 3, raise your hand how you feel right now. Do you think you got this? And if you see the whole class got a 2, it's like, okay, they kind of got it. If you see the whole class got a 1, that's data. That data is telling you, I need to reteach this because they didn't get it. So I feel like we have to take accountability for the instruction that we're teaching the kids. Like, we have to know if they're understanding it or not. If not, it's like, why are you teaching it? I just feel like a lot of people that do come into education at this point, like 3 years later, a lot of people left education because of COVID, right? I just feel like now, 3 years later, I walk around and I witness so many classrooms, the kids are doing absolutely nothing. And I feel like the teachers have given up. I feel like the teachers' hearts aren't really there anymore. I'm not saying all teachers, because I don't know all teachers and I don't know every district, right? But what I'm witnessing, I can see like the lack of enthusiasm from teachers. And I don't blame them. Like, I wanted to get out the classroom too. I wasn't enjoying teaching anymore. And sometimes I get to teach now in this position. Like, I'll teach and a teacher has to like watch me model, and I miss it. I do. But I'm an enthusiast. Like, I love what I do. I'm passionate about my subject. So if you're a teacher out there and you find that you're not enthusiastic anymore or encouraged, don't stay in this position, because you're doing 2 disservices. First, you're doing a disservice to yourself, being unhappy in a position that you don't want to be in. And then you're doing a disservice to the kids, because the kids deserve a teacher who is willing, show up, trying. They deserve that. They need that. So if you know education is not for you, get out. Like, don't stay in education just for the breaks and the pay. Like, well, I don't know, some districts may not pay good. I mean, the districts I've been in, these teachers are balling. Like, they making money. They're starting at 60-something thousand. Like, they're okay. But yeah, I just feel like you have to have a special place in your heart for kids to work in education. Like, you have to have the right mindset and the right heart to be in this field, because it's rough. It's rough. Okay, that's most of the responses that I got. I just wanted to talk about with y'all and open up this dialogue. Feel free to comment down below, like, how y'all feel. What's the biggest problems in education? Please don't take this the wrong way. Like, if y'all disagree with anything that I said, please let me know. Like, I love the conversation and the dialogue. Y'all, we're all in education, all my educators out there. Like, please let me know how you feel about this. Also, I have some really exciting news. I've been saving this. I have some really exciting news I'm so happy to share. I finally got my dream job, y'all. I will be a full-time adjunct professor. I will be a full-time adjunct professor in August, though. So I'm finishing out my contract as a literacy coach. I'm a literacy coach. I'm finishing out my contract as a literacy coach, and I'm just doing extra tutoring right now. And then come August, I will be a full-time adjunct professor. So wish your girl, congratulations, wish me luck. I'm so excited. This has been a professional goal and dream of mine. If y'all go back on my channel, like way back, this is something I have been trying to accomplish for years and manifest for years, and I never gave up. So I just want to say, anybody that has professional goals, any type of goal, the key is to not give up, but let go. And I know that sounds like so contradicting. The key is to not give up. So do what you can as far as action. Talk to whoever you need to talk to. Apply to those jobs. Update your resume. All of those things. And then let it go. I wasn't fixated on it. I would let it go. If it was my time, it was gonna be my time. And it literally fell into my lap. Literally fell into my lap. I could have been a professor now, but I didn't want to burn any bridges. And I asked them, can I wait? Can I finish out my contract? They said yes. And so, yeah, I will start in August as a full-time adjunct professor. Hey, allow me to reintroduce myself. Professor Gray. Y'all make sure y'all address me as such. I'm gonna change my whole YouTube, my Instagram, TikTok. I'm gonna change everything to Professor Gray, okay? Because y'all, I'm just so like excited. I am 30 years old, and I always say by 30 I want to be oh my god, I'm about to cry. I always say at 30 I wanted to be a professor, and I did it. If there's anything that you want to accomplish, y'all, you can do it. Don't give up. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.